Hey YouTube, did you know there's 5 ways to get water in Stranded Deep? Stick around, I'll show you how. Hello everybody, I'm Granddaddy Gamer. I cover 100% survival gaming, and since Stranded Deep dropped on console, I've spent the better part of a year testing every aspect of this game on PC as well as console. I've talked to veteran players who have been playing this game since it dropped the early days of early access on PC. I've talked to players that have had issues with this game, and today I'm here talking to you about 5 ways to get water in Stranded Deep, starting from your first day in the game. So one of the first things that you're going to use when you first spawn into the game for water is going to be coconuts. And where new players run into the issue is not being able to eat or drink more than 2 coconuts at a time. Now, if you're going to eat this coconut, you split it in half. You can't have more than 2 halves of a coconut. For some reason, a half counts as a whole, but if you drink a whole coconut, you can drink 2 whole coconuts. So if we drink 3, we get sick. But if we pull this up, this is actually quite serious, even though it seems funny. We have diarrhea. And if you look at my hydration bar, you can actually see it ticking down really, really fast. This is the fastest in the game, even faster than hard mode. And honestly, a lot of new players end up dying this way. I get a lot of comments from people about this. But there's a way to do this with coconuts, and I'm going to show you how. Stick around. Okay, so now that we have our coconuts here, first and foremost, let's go ahead and look at my watch, and you can see my hydration bar. I have 3 and just starting the 4th bar empty on my hydration bar so that we all know what each one does. So now you can actually open these any way you guys like. You can use a stone tool, you can use a refined knife like I have in my hand, you can use an axe if you like, but this tip actually comes from one of the community members and a mod on the channel, Mr. Branchcore, who happens to be a friend of mine and keeps me on the straight and narrow when I go off the path on a video. He said, just take a spear. Now we're going to do a refined spear because this is going to be one of the first early game weapons that you're going to have, and it's going to save on durability of your weapons and your tools. You just hit the coconut with a spear like this. Super easy and very effective. Okay, so now that we have the coconuts in our hand, we're going to go ahead and drink them. 1, 2, we'll stop right here. As you can see, that filled about 1.5 bars of our hydration, and you're going to wait 10 in-game seconds or 10 in-game minutes. You can see the hands ticking down. We're going to wait till about 8:47. There we go. Drink 2 more. There you go. You can wait another 10 seconds. So at 9 o'clock even, we'll drink the last one. And this tip actually came in from a viewer that had left this in the comments section of another tutorial video. Very effective, and he called it the 210 method. I can't think of anything else more perfect to use. And that's how you use coconuts and survive drinking coconuts. Now you can use this method when you eat the coconut. Just remember that when you split this coconut in half like this, it is now 2 halves. The game counts this as 2 coconuts. You can only eat 1 whole coconut, and then you have to wait 10 seconds, and then you can eat the other 2. Eventually, you're going to want a more stable source of water, and that's when you're going to want to craft a water still. Now, I recommend you craft at least more than 1, at least 2, but in the early game, 1 is going to suit you just fine until you can gain enough materials that you are comfortable enough making another. These are great, and they're going to hold 4 drinks. Now, you can drink directly from it, as you can see here. I drink. That fills 1 full bar per drink. Now, I can also craft a water skin later on from leather, and that's going to hold 3 drinks, and I can take it with me. Or I can craft a clay flask after I've got enough clay, and this will hold 5 drinks. You can also refill these using palm fronds like this, or fibrous leaves, which are more renewable because fibrous leaves will grow on yucca as well as young palms, and they regenerate about every 48 hours in game. You can use both of those to fill the water still. Method 3 and method 4 are we're going to talk about together, and that is fruit. There are two different fruits in the game. One is called a kura with a K, and one is called, and I'm going to butcher this, but a kawawa fruit with a Q. And there's two different plants that you're going to want to look for. So first of all, this is a kawawa fruit, and it kind of looks like a pear. Honestly, it looks just like a pear. And this is a kura fruit, and if we go ahead, pull up our thing, as you can see, I'm about 3 1/3 bars on there. And if I eat one of these, when I pull it up, it filled me 1 full bar of hydration. This will also fill food as well. It's not going to do a whole ton, but it will fill that up. We look, we're about 2 1/3 or 1 1/3. So both fruit will fill 1 bar of hydration as well as food. So this is a great source when you're out and about. You can also grow these. If you pick a fruit, you can grow this at your base. So you're going to look for plants like this. This is a small kawawa fruit. You can see the bush, and it grows 1 fruit on it. You pick that, you can plant it or eat it. This is the kura fruit right here, and as you can see, it is much bigger, at least twice, 2 to 3 times the size of the kawawa fruit. You can pick this as well. You can eat it or grow it. Now, the last way you're actually going to have access to this as soon as you spawn into the game when you rubber raft, unless, of course, you're on console and you choose hard mode, then you don't spawn in with the raft on console, but is rations. These right here. You're going to get some of these in your storage on your raft, and you're going to find them throughout the world as you wreck dive and explore. So if we pull up my watch, you can actually see my food is 2 bars missing and my water is 4 bars missing. Now rations, really, this is your oh poop moment. Hold on to these until you need them if you're in dire straits. We eat one. Look at that. So 3.5 bars of hydration. Now, obviously, it filled my food all the way up because I only had 2, but it's equal. Hydration and food is equal, so you will get the same hydration as well as food. So about 3 to 3.5 bars of food and water for a ration. Poisoning is also a really big issue for new players when they spawn in. They get bit by a snake, stung by a lionfish, they step on a crown of thorns, all kinds. There's snakes in the water, there's snakes on the island, and new players die in droves. This is one of the big learning curves when you first start Stranded Deep. So I'm going to link you guys 2 videos. One is how to craft antidote, what to look for, what plant you need. And the second one is, if you don't have any of those, how to beat antipoison without any antidote whatsoever. So go ahead and check those out, and I'll see you in the next video.